Anyways,
So we're scarred for life.
I think we're good to go. Every one of you guys are in there. Starbuck is ready. The game is already starting here. So far, Starbuck look pretty rock star. Let's see if Sjow can step it up. Whirlwind will be the next map of choice here.
I definitely think Sjow has what it takes. Well,
absolutely, yeah.
You know, I don't even have to say that. We all know that Sjow has what it takes, and if he gets into his macro game, then that's where Sjow can shine. Sjow can shine.
Sjow can shine.
Shows how he shines.
Okay, so introducing our players here, spawning in the top right hand side as the blue Terran player representing property.
Huh.
It is Sjow.
Really sorry about that. And in the bottom left-hand corner on Whirlwind, spawning as the purple Zerg, showing a phenomenal game one. Just textbook, bling bling muter without a single mistake. MiA Starbuck.
Absolutely, that looked rock solid, and maybe also he caught Sjow by that 7 or 8 road rush we saw as an opening here by him, a little bit by surprise. This time with Whirlwind and also the cross spawn positions here. I think going for rushes will be a little bit more difficult just because if you just take a look at those rush distances, it's pretty long. So
That's one way of putting it.
yeah, absolutely. So any sorts of rushes or something like that would get terribly delayed and maybe also even just would stop working. And that's why I would expect, I think, either player here to open up very economically. I think Sjow goes for the CC first here, and also Starbuck would go for the hedge first here, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to see a macro game from both players. I think especially Sjow is going to want to play it very safe. Make sure that nothing too crazy happens. He is getting a very early, well, not very early. He's getting an early expansion, and he'll probably bunker up the first, bunker up the expansion, and just play really safe, I think. Or maybe go into Hellion integration just to get some map control, keep any Zerglings away from his economy, and really try to dominate this game the way Starbuck did the first game.
Yeah, and already with that drone scout, Starbuck is trying to be a little bit annoying here, trying to attack that SCV that is currently building the CC. But of course, Sjow already sent one down there to be able to deny some sorts of poking and punching or whatever those drones do to hurt that SCV. And eventually will be chased away. Behind all of that, he's going to throw down his Rex and also a gas here. I think probably pretty much at the same time, which usually indicates Reapers. But of course also factory plays is a possibility, or maybe even a reactor.
Yeah, really interested to see what happens here. There's not a lot going on though. We do see our Zerg player taking 3 bases, and getting his spawning pool about 16, I think it went down, so standard timing. And yeah, while there's nothing going on, I really need to pop and get a drink because I just took the medication and it's gonna make me throw up, so I'll be back in a second.
Get your drink. I think you won't really miss too far because as it is right now, I think you guys know it already. Both players are opening up very economically. Neither player is really going for any sorts of extremely early aggressions that we like we saw in the first game, where Starbuck went for that 8 road rush. And with that said, Sjow is now throwing down his factory and trying to finish up his wall in so that no links can pass, which of course is really nice. Oh, that was quick, Dale.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Okay,
that was quick.
The Flash. I'm like the Flash. Or I'm like Starbuck beating Sjow on Planet S.
Anyway, I think, by the way, Sjow on that map might be a little bit more favored just because his macro is extremely good.
Look at this
just
rolling.
to throw that out. But I think both players have pretty good macro.
As I was saying at the start of the game, Sjow is not messing around. He is not going to allow any sort of shenanigans this game. He's using everything he can in this wall in, and it is substantial. And even creating a kind of little semi-wall off behind that as extra security. as some players do. This Overlord is here positioning it, thinking, well, crap, I'm not getting in.
Well, the Overlord technically can get in, but not any sorts of links or something like that. So yeah, very.
He's part of the
smart
hive mind, so he thinks as a.
Yeah.
You got rolled, baby.
That's probably like it goes. Anyways, one lonesome Hellion is now going to get across the map here, potentially trying to get some scouting informations, maybe even getting a couple of worker kills. But oh, that was not supposed to happen. Sjow was trying to switch his add-ons there, but a couple of links went past, are now in the main base. Already got one SCV kill here, and also of course getting pretty much the full scout here on what is going on. They see the second gas, and of course they also sort of a command center and the starport. So with that medevac being constructed here, I think Starbuck, he basically sees it, yeah. He basically knows what's up. He knows that there will be some sorts of drops heading towards him any moment here.
I can't believe with all that security, those links still got past.
Yeah, he was just switching add-ons, and they were basically perfectly timed to switch to get past that.
Still, Starbuck, with the way he played that last game, being on 3 bases this early, he's going to be really, whatever he does is going to be really painful for Sjow. So he might want to move out very quickly and do some economic damage. We do see the single Viking out sniping Overlords, which is actually fairly underrated as a tactic. I think that it happens in every single game, but we don't point it out nearly enough. Sniping off basically supply depots every couple of seconds, and we do see the Lings get the surround on all of those Hellions, and they're going to go down. I don't know what Sjow was doing. Maybe he was.
Sorry,
I think he might have been microing that Viking. Okay, sorry, I'm a little bit too close to the microphone. Our producer has just told me, so I'm going to move back a bit. But I think Sjow was probably microing that Viking, and he just let all those Hellions get completely destroyed, and he's lost map control entirely.
Yeah,
now he's going to get soft contained. These Lings are going to move up to the front of the base and just say, hey, move out, go on, I dare you.
Yeah, and with losing that Hellions, he was just about to float over his third command center, and that Ling is just gonna get there and say, well, you ain't gonna land that today. But eventually a couple of Marines will clear that up and allow that Marine to land. One lonesome Viking is going on Overlord hunting here in the natural expansion of Starbuck. Eventually one Queen steps in and
get back.
Yeah, it gets it away, but already that Viking is gathering some important information. He already saw all those roaches moving out here for Starbuck, indicating a huge pressure here, and I don't know, so far Sjow is not really reacting. He is basically moving out, positioning himself in a pretty weird position here, which will definitely not help him defend here.
Yeah, we definitely know there's Sjow is going for the same timing he did last game, but he's just not going to get anything done because... Starbuck is going for the same timing, but this time there's Widow Mines, there's plenty of Marines, there's a bunker, there's... what's he going to do? He's going to put a bunker behind the mineral line for the Ling run-bys, he's going to put another bunker behind the rocks. I really like positioning of that bunker if it can get up, but there more roaches have joined and they're all going to come up. A whole bunch of Baneling coming up, and this mine's going to come off.
Look at all those Banelings, oh my god. And also the
Widow Mines
are no longer with charge here. The Banelings are rolling forward, the Marines are being kited back here. Eventually we'll get away from those Banelings, but still the roaches are moving forward, taking out all the Marines here and potentially shutting down that third base.
Yeah, you definitely hit the same timing, and I didn't see the reinforcements of the roaches. More Lings streaming in, and this third base is just done. The mules had stopped mining, this bunker's going to go down. Well, it gets salvaged instantly. And that third base is going to be in the air for a while, as I imagine. Although there is a medevac here with 3 Marine and 2 SCVs, and it just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, well, the
Not sure
roaches can't do anything about it. And behind all of that, we see more and more units streaming across the map. 4th base just finished, and also the hive is going down here for Starbuck. He's basically once again putting himself in a major position here, already leading by 50 supply in that second game of that best of 3.
Yeah, there's 46 Lings on the way with 19 Banelings already being morphed in. This is going to be horrendous.
So many Banelings, Dale.
Artosis. I like it. Oh, look at all the Banelings. Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh,
this
that's
is gonna
be painful. Well,
where
of
are
course,
they going?
It still can go either way with all those Widow Mines that are scattered around the map. If one connects properly with all those paintings. But I think it's just not gonna happen.
The Zerg blob on the map is the size of a base. This is gonna be hideous. The mine's getting off, doing absolutely no damage, basically. Getting a few lings, and the lings get the run by straight in the mineral line. So many speedlings, and the banelings are coming up into the third. There's nothing up here, though. What are they going to do? They're just going to get up here and like hit 2 mules.
They're just gonna do nothing. I think those banelings were a little bit of a waste here. He wouldn't have needed them. No, of course, I'm just joking. Sjow was very, very nicely saving his units into those medevacs that are now going to try to defend what is left of that third base. But now the banelings are rolling forward here. Nice split, though, I have to say that. Doing at least the best he can, but I think it's just not gonna be enough. Bases 5 and 6 are being constructed behind all of that, and also the Ultralisk cavern is going down. And
but Sjow does now have a supply lead. There are 8 Ultralisks on the way, so his supply lead just disappeared very quickly.
I was just about to say, as soon as Starbuck starts Ultralisk production, that supply lead will very, very quickly disappear.
Yep, and 36 more lings on the way to back up these Ultralisks. There's going to be 8 Ultralisks, probably something in the order of 60 lings on the map, and he's even getting adrenal glands, which I love to see. Nobody does that. I don't understand why. Sjow moving out. He knows that he's got to get something done here. He's got all of his medevacs and a whole bunch of biomine moving up into this base, but there's nothing here.
Yeah, well, I think he might
Starbuck
end up
can afford to throw this away.
Sorry, I think he might end up getting that base here, but what is that gonna do for him? He's already struggling to establish his 5th base, and now he's killing the 6th of his opponent.
Yeah, there's nothing to be done. You can just abandon that. We got another. The lings are going to get another run by. The Widow Mines do get off, but there's enough lings in here to stop mining yet again. Starbuck just being so effective with this economic damage he's been doing in every single game. Last game, it basically won him the game, forcing out those scans every single game. This time he's abandoned it. What have I missed?
Take a look at the main. 4 medevacs are just unloaded their units, and now 4 full of medevacs are trying to take out that main, but already all the Ultralisks are arriving here. One Widow Mine eventually will connect onto a couple of workers, but those Ultralisks chase the medevacs away. They will eventually drop into the 4th base here, but there are already a couple of links to buy some time. Eventually, of course, Sjow will get some damage done. He's doing it very, very nicely here. Being aggressive at multiple locations, he's basically once again pulling his opponent apart. But really, Starbuck doesn't care about losing a couple of workers. He's just so far ahead at this point.
No, don't underestimate this. This is what Sjow did at the Red Bull training grounds. This is where he just started flashing it up, doing the flash style, dropping multiple locations. I mean, bio is so much easier to micro in drops than defend against the drops. And he just dropped all of his units onto banelings, as we've been pointed out. I was too busy looking at the drop in the top, where he sniped off another base. The buildings in the main going down. Plenty of workers in the 3rd going down. The Ultras coming in to clean it up, but now he can just pick up. Oh, fungal!
Oh,
where did the infestors come from? I didn't even see that. Money fungal. They're going to get chained down, no doubt about it. And a couple of infested Terrans going down just to finish them off, and he fungals, drops the infested Terrans, and then just pimps his Ultramarines. His Ultras off across the map, not even bothering to stick around. Really nice kind of slap in the face there by Starbuck, and he's going for the counter attack. Look at the size of that blob in the middle of the map.
I mean, yeah, I think Sjow's army composition is not really too bad. He has a lot of Marauders already in his composition, which will, of course, help him dealing with all those bendings and Ultralisks. But taking a look at the overall army supply size, I mean, he's close, but those 10 supply can make a huge difference. Let's see how well Starbuck can end up getting a nice engagement here. Engaging here into the grid, probably not the smartest of moves, because already that army is pretty much nicely split up. We'll just go into the natural, but also I think not really the smartest of decisions. Nice fungal there, already hitting a lot of units. But the thing is, if Starbuck loses that army, I think he should be fine. He's sitting on 4 bases behind all of that. So he should be easily able to replenish at least the biggest part of that army. But with Sjow pretty much struggling to even get up his 3rd base, by now I think it should be rather secure.
The really
he is not
part
really in a
about
position to replenish his army, I think.
The really shocking part about all this, if we can get our observer to pull up the workers killed tab, it's 21 to 26. With a massive drop like that, you would have expected Sjow to even up the worker supply. Well, not even it up, but take huge amounts of worker. But all these ultras moving up to take down this planetary fortress, and it goes down like a hot knife through butter. There is another one going up. Well, a command center going up to create a bit of a sim city, and all the bio coming from behind. The fungals going down. Yeah, there's some really money fungals there, but all these infestors are going to get picked off really quickly, and the ultras are backed into a corner here.
Yeah, but look at all that bio. It's basically already dead. The ultras will finish at least the biggest part of that. And now Starbuck is just gonna throw down bases absolutely everywhere. More and more units are being produced. But Sjow is getting more and more back into that game. I feel he has been taking the better engagement so far.
Yeah, definitely. He's got 3-3 on the way too. And as soon as Marines get to 3-3, they start to become infinitely more dangerous than basically any other unit. We've got a lot of Lings coming down, which you do not want to be building Lings against Biomine. But he's going to stick to it. He does have Ultras to tank some of the damage, and we do see, as you said, Starbuck is throwing down bases basically everywhere he can, because he knows that Sjow will start dropping again, and he can afford to lose 2 or 3 of those. As long as one of them gets saturated at this point, he's still mining off 1, 2, 3, 4 bases, so he's in pretty good shape. In terms of actual workers still on the map, it is 83 to 47. I don't even understand how... Well, yes I do. I was about to say that I don't understand how Sjow is keeping up this production, but... Spell it with me, people. M-U-L-E, mules!
Anyways, I think overall Sjow is doing a pretty nice job at getting back into that game. But he just cannot establish a 4th base. And you definitely need your 4th base if you're facing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 base Zerg or something weird like that. Of course, not really too many bases of those are actually saturated, but still, having those many hatcheries is quite impressive. Now once again, Sjow is going to go for the drops here because he knows it worked out for him very nicely the first time. Why not try the second time? Also with 3-3 finishing here up for any moment for him. He will have... Well, he will at least be even in upgrades.
And here we go, there's a drop in the top right-hand corner. There is a couple of Ultras and an Infestor here, so that'll get cleaned up fairly quickly.
Money
Ultra Infestor is so ridiculous. With Kaiser Blades, are just cutting through all of those Marines and Marauders. He does pick up in a 1 medevac, and he is going to drop again. But there is a huge clump of Ling Bling waiting at this, I don't know what, 7th base? I've lost count. And I really like that Starbuck is he's split up all of his forces to defend every single one of these bases. There isn't a single base that isn't covered. The only one that isn't covered is his 3rd, I think, which is Spores and Spines. So
yeah, absolutely,
he's in really good shape.
But of course, by doing that, Starbuck loses most of his map control, and that of course can help Sjow getting back into the game, who actually is now in the lead. If we take a look at the supplies, currently 200 against 190, and also in terms of army supply, 100 against 150 for Sjow. So Sjow definitely has the bigger army, and I think he's getting more and more back into that game. So he's not dead yet, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Terran, Terran on 4 bases is still a very dangerous Terran. He can continually produce bio from like 8 barracks off 2 bases with some mules. Double Spire just completed for Starbuck, so we are going to see a tech switch any minute now. Although 10 infestors just came down.
Now Sjow is going to move out here, trying to put some pressure onto that 5th or 6th base, I don't even know. Already going for the 2-pronged attack here. Nice funnels going down, the Ultras are closing in with most of those bio units, but with mostly Marauders in their composition, I think Sjow once again can push that back and is now looking to take out a lot of bases here.
God, the bio just does so much DPS when it's stimmed, it's just crazy, and the drone's being pulled, he knows he's going to lose his base, but that's fine, he's got more than enough bases.
Starbuck.
I think he was unimpressed with losing that many units to a small clump of bio.
Yeah,
that's the reality of bio, I'm afraid.
I think Starbuck was basically doing as best as he can, but with a composition as he had, which was basically Ultralisk Infestor, facing a bio army with mostly Marauders in it, is just not going to work out. I think going for maybe a Mutalisk tech transition or maybe even Broodlords, as we see the Greater Spire right now, might probably be the better decision here for him.
I hugely agree with you there. With so many Infestors on the field, he can buy himself a lot of time, and I don't understand why he built 8 more Infestors plus Ultras. That's a lot of resources into that air tech. And as soon as he switches to maybe, like, you know, just mass muter, he's got plenty of units still on the field defending those bases. He could bring them all together, you know, hit this bio unit while it's on his creep, kill as much of it as he can, and he's trapped that Marauder in those changelings. I really like that. You know, do a bit of damage to this army. Just make Sjow a little bit, because I mean, look how many Marauders are there. Once any amount of muters come out, this composition is screwed.
Yeah, as it is right now, basically you have a Marine Mortar. I gonna say it again.
You'll get there. Come on.
Marauder.
There we go.
You basically have as many Marauders as Marines in your army composition, and I think at that point, that is basically the turning point where Ultralisk Infestor doesn't really work again, and now we have 4 Ultralisks in production. Not Ultralisks, Broodlords. I'm losing my mind. And
7 Broodlords. Yeah, this is what we want to see. Broodlord Infestor, baby. It's Wings of Liberty all over again, bringing it back. You know, it's another thing. We're seeing a lot of old Wings of Liberty stuff coming back. I mean, we've even got Broodlord Ultra on the field, which is still very effective, but that is so many fungal growths that if he gets half of them, this entire army is dead.
Yeah, absolutely. And if he once locked down,
he just used a fungal on 1 Marauder. I just want to point that out.
Doesn't even care. He has so many Infestors with full energy. That's the point. They can basically, I think, fungal all 2 times. And now Sjow basically sees the Broodlords and he knows, well, I have no anti-air. I'm in a little bit of a sticky situation here. And also with his bio being in that kind of weird choke here, he's basically trapped. And Starbuck is now going to look to lock him down. Maybe with some additional fungals here. He's basically now in the horrible position. What a fungal here. Pinning down all of those units, and now the Ultralisks are connecting with those units. More fungals are going down, but that already was a nice win. But on the other hand, Sjow is once again dropping Starbuck here, trying to be relentless with his drop aggression here.
They weren't necessarily good fungals, there was just like 30 of them, and it was amazing. I don't want to detract from what he just did, but that was so much fun to watch. These Broodlords are going to start tearing these bases apart. There are some drops going down in the 6th, I think, of Starbuck, but he has 2 muters, and he's actually pulling drones to defend it, so that's actually going to work. Weirdly, another drop. It's not a drop; it's just a single Marine pecking away at this base at the bottom right-hand corner, and a big surround on a huge clump of bio. The Infestor's actually running in and surrounding a small clump of bio units just to be a bit of a dick.
But I think still Sjow is a little bit ahead. Well, not a little bit, he's basically ahead here in this game. I think Starbuck might have been a little bit choking around, now trying to take out that planetary fortress. Will end up getting a lot of SCV kills and that planetary fortress here. But at the same time, he might lose a lot of Infestors here. Once again, nice fungals onto all of those medevacs, and he will probably end up taking out all of them.
And this is a big move, losing all of these medevacs. This was a really silly move by Sjow. Those medevacs are crucial, and he flew them into probably the best unit in the game for killing medevacs. So yeah, that was a terrible idea. A small commando unit of Marines moving up into another expansion by, I'm just going to call them expansions from now on. Another expansion by Starbuck, picking it off. What a game this has been so far, and we still can't really tell who's in front. I would give it
by now. I think it's just Sjow because he basically has more units, and also Starbuck might have been like not really taking it too serious because he was way ahead, like 10 or 15 minutes ago. But now take a look at his army composition. It's 13 Infestors, 7 Broodlords, and 1 Ultralisks.
Yeah, I think it's Starbuck because those Starbuck in certain situations, because those Infestors will take out every single bio unit he has in under about 6 seconds if he gets the fungals off. And he's got a couple of ultras and a couple of broodlords which will be tanking most of that damage, so he will have the time to get in there and cast those fungal growths. but it's going to come down to that timing. And now the supplies are getting further away from each other as we do see that point where Terran is getting so many production buildings that he's starting to put them in the middle of the field, creating a dim city against those ultras.
Just look at the production tab. 17 Marines at a time.
That's disgusting. You were saying earlier that he didn't have any anti-air, and you forgot about Marines, the best anti-air unit in the
now
game.
he has anti-air, but at that point he had like 20 Marines. Yeah, absolutely. Just as Schmigel pointed out, you couldn't hear him. Those Broodlords are basically without any upgrades, and that is crucial because right now he's facing 3 Marines.
They do fire free units though, so it doesn't really matter. If they're going to get shot at, they're probably going to die anyway.
Well, yeah, but eventually those Broodlords... Yeah, the DPS of those units is low, and most of the damage those Broodlords actually do is by smacking those Broodlings onto those units. That actually does the most damage.
We have a drop in the expansion, trying to go down yet again at the top right hand, well, just straight up from his main. It does actually end up going up because there are some ultras and infestors here. This is where Sjow, this is what I was talking about earlier, Show's multitasking ability is rival to the best in the world. He's dropping all over the place, he's hitting here, he's hitting there, but he's still got enough units in a big clump to take on any of these big pushes by the Zerg player, who tends to fight up ramps for some reason.
Yeah, that is not really the smartest of decision. And I think by now we hit that point where Sjow is in a quite comfortable position. But with all those infestors out in the field, he still has to be careful to spread his army out, because as soon as Starbuck lands the money funnels, that army dies off very, very quickly, especially since it's consisting out of mostly Marines. Oh, the Vikings also get funneled now, and those are also very important in dealing with those Broodlords. All of them get taken out, and if you take a look at that bio right there, basically there was, I think it was 2 funnels, and it is basically already dead.
Yeah, this is, Starbuck is now gathering all of his forces for a big push. He has eliminated huge chunks of Show's army. Sjow is, as you were saying, producing 17, probably more Marines at a time now, so he's going to be capped soon, and he's going to stay capped as he can't possibly stop producing units. He still has a massive bank, and that means just Marines can come out for the rest of time. Even running a few Marines in for some bizarre reason. And here we go. I think this is going to be it. This is where Starbuck decides that either he wants to take the engagement, see if he can win, or get it over and done with and start on try to go to a game 3 on a different map.
Absolutely. The thing Sjow basically has to be careful right now are the funnels, as previously mentioned. If he can avoid those, he basically has free reign to move over that army of Starbuck, but as soon as those funnel hit, he's pretty much dead. And he also should be careful not just to send a couple of units at a time into that army. If he engages, he basically should engage with all of his units. That's important.
Yeah, they're posturing a little bit here at this bottom right-hand expansion. Sjow has split up a large chunk of his units, and he's going to probably move down the middle of the map to try and split up Starbuck's army, or maybe engage it from 2 different sides, do what Starbuck did to him in game 1.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look at that. Sjow is already gearing up here. He's being aggressive into 6th phase. That eventually will be cleaned up, but Starbuck gets very, very lucky. Gets out of there, because that was probably like the pit of death right there.
We need someone to be counting how many units have died to fungal growths this game, because it would be astronomical.
By the way, you know, recently Blizzard implemented that units lost tab, where you actually can see the units, not only the value of them. Opening that up, I see 220 Marines have died so far. Just to throw that out there. It's Shift L, FYI.
It is. The producer is asking which tab that is. It is Shift L. I didn't know that. I'm just going to claim that I did. So engagements all over the map. A single Ultralisk engaging a giant clump of Marines and actually taking a few down, but these Marines are going to get this base. All of the units from Starbuck coming down to support it, and Sjow has seen all of those units move, and he's going to go out and hit that 3rd expansion at the top.
Once again, money funnel here, shutting down those 2 medevacs. Very important there to get those, but at the meantime, Sjow once again moving out here, trying to take out that top expansion here. Only 2 Ultralisks are really there. They will end up taking a lot of that bio if he decides to engage, because as it is right now, that bio is heavily overstimmed, and the medevacs are not really in position.
they're all on IV stim. They didn't even have to inject it. They just kind of mainlined it and they carried around that little bag that you get at the hospital. The fungal growths weren't there this time though, so a few of them get away, but not many. A lot of Marines died just now, but I don't think Sjow cares because look at the supply. It's just shooting straight back up.
Yeah, but Starbuck is now in the lead once again. The game once again turned around with losing that huge chunk of army. Of course he got that one base in exchange, but I think that was not really worth it. Starbuck has now the bigger army, but of course that doesn't last very long because we have 13 Marines at a time coming out of those barracks, and Starbuck pretty much has not really too much income right now. Yeah, he has no mining base, absolutely. And
more Marines pushing up into the only mining base that's just about to that's been put down by Starbuck, and this is going to really going to be a real problem for the Zerg player. So he's just going to go for it. He's going to storm into this base, one of the only mining bases left for Sjow as well. Actually, maybe the only mining base, and he takes it down, kills so many SCVs. There's still so many fungals. There is enough fungals here to win the game alone. Just in this little clump on this hand side of the map.
Take a look at the units tab right now. We have basically only Marines for Sjow right now, and
they will die very quickly
on the opposing side. If you at least hit one proper fungal, that army is just dead. So I think
as you were saying,
by now once again is in the prime position here, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And now Starbuck is actually doing the reverse. He's sending ultras around the map to clean up any expansions, doing little pushes like Show's been doing, and he's gonna. This is it. Here he goes. He's got some. He's got a nice path all the way up to kind of the expansions here of the Terran player, and he's got enough to win it here.
Starbuck is just gonna go for it here. He's already pulling all of his SCVs, which is probably not really too much.
He is making, like you said, so many Marines, but Marines aren't very good against this composition. In fact, they might be the worst thing you could be building.
Lords here for Starbuck, and they won't do the a proper job to kill off those Marines. He has to be careful not really to lose most of them. The army eventually will arrive here, and the fungals will go down. That is the fungals he needs. Brilliant. The Ultras goes in and take out all the army. Sjow drops to 40 supply, and I think this might very well be it here for Starbuck. Once again, turning the game around. A game that he already had won and threw it away. And I think right now he did it.
Is he going to try and produce 17 more Marines and try to stop a 119 supply Zerg?
I think he did it. I think
Look at all those mules, though. Oh, if he had kept that base. Yeah, they will. But if he had kept that base, he might have been all right.
I mean, just look at the supplies. We have 18 Marines, 3 Marauders right now for Sjow, whereas 3 Ultrasks, 9 Ultrasks, 3 Broodlords, and a Baneling, and 9 Infestors, which is probably like the most part right now. Once again, the army is not really in a good position here for Sjow. Nice fungals once again, and I think that might very well be the GG play here. Starbuck takes a extremely awesome game here.
What a phenomenal match to cast. That was so much fun, so much back and forth. I didn't know who was winning at any given point. So much, I want to know 2 statistics. How many Marines died to fungals, and how many bases were built by the Zerg player?